Hey, fellow pilots, and welcome to my new series, Don't Panic. So, the purpose of the series is to introduce the planes I like the most to you, to introduce the tactics you should apply to make those planes work, and to give a good overview about the plane. So, why not start with this beauty here? It's the F4U-1A Corsair. So, before I take it into battle, let's talk a bit about this plane and get in some stats. So here we go. So the F4U-1A Corsair is a 2.7 BR rank 2 plane for the American tech tree, and it's one of the first true boom and zoomers you're gonna unlock after you've gone through the Hawks and the P40, which both are quite okay on boom and zooming, but yeah, if you get your hands on this beauty here and feel the sheer and pure power of this Corsair, you know what I'm talking about. So two things about boom and zoom planes. You need to get to altitude around 5 to 6k to perform a good boom and zoom, because in a dive you're gonna build up speed and you can convert that speed back into altitude and stay out of your enemy's guns. So although the Corsair is a very powerful plane, it doesn't climb very well, and that's a huge disadvantage, especially when you fly this plane stock. So I recommend you just hop into a arcade match, spade this beauty and go back to RB, because spading this one in RB can be painful. So to conclude the climbing part, always side climb. Find yourself a sweet hiding spot on the map where you can get up to 6k, and do not use the war emergency power, because the web runs dry after 7 minutes and you're gonna overheat the engine quite significantly. I usually climb at 15 degrees around a speed of 250-240 kph and stay off the web, because this one is gonna overheat quickly if you web while climbing. So let's take him to battle. Okay, so Gaijin has decided to throw me on Norway, which is a huge ass map, as we all know. And as I'm looking around me, I see several Germans below me, but also 2 guys on altitude. So problem is this: I cannot attack those guys because apparently they are above me. The good thing is that on these altitudes my engine's gonna outperform them. So what do? It's rather simple. You first extend from them and start to drain their energy state. Okay, so they are still above me and I'm extending from them. I reclimb and try to lure them down on my altitude. I also want to keep them interested, so they're not gonna dive away or do some stupid stuff, because apparently I want to kill those guys. They are our priority because they are the highest flying fighters, okay? You should always go for the highest flying fighter. As you might have noticed, there's an F2A with me, and he's not on altitude, so just dip my nose a bit, build up speed, and again just try to pull those guys with me, and they don't give up their altitude yet, but this is gonna happen soon, and this is gonna seal their fate. So as you can see, bleeding the enemy's energy is gonna take some time. And the BF-109 seems to commit into me, which is good. But the C-202 remains on altitude, which is not so good. So I need to kind of, get this guy away from the C-202 so I can attack him. And yet still there's the F2A around, and I'm actually trying to get into a good position, beneficial position, where I can safely attack those guys and kill them eventually. Okay, so the BF-109 still is catching up, but my speed is rather low. But as you can see already, the gap is very small, so I'm gonna extend pretty soon, right now. So again, I just go into this shallow turn, keep my speed high as possible. And the F2A is 8 clicks out, so he's in no position to assist me, so I need to be cautious here again. Just keep my speed high, do shallow dives, and when I see I am extending, I just reclimb. Okay. So now watch closely. They're both on my 6, but they have lost a good chunk of their altitude. And we're at 6.3k, so their engines don't perform, like I said before. So now it's just a waiting game. The C202 is still on me, so I need to wait for this guy to break off me, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to attack the BF-109. The C202 could come in and kill me, and that's not what I want. So again, just shallow curve, almost it's shallow curve, shallow turn towards the F2A, and as soon as I see the C202 break away, I'm gonna start engaging the BF-109. So they are going into head-on and seem to kind of get some hits in. I'm not so sure. But here comes my move now. So as you can see, the BF-109 is really struggling to keep up with me now. So one part of my plan has worked. He has lost all his energy, or his energy advantage. And by climbing up to me, he gets even slower, but I can just shallow dive again, regain my speed, and as I look back again, I'm really running away from this guy now. So just cool the engine just a bit by cutting off the web. The C202 is low now, and you see that, I mean, I'm at least, I'm not so sure, I cannot make those guesses, but I'm very fast now. So again, I just climb up, do a shallow turn, shallow climbing turn. And what you see now is actually not a boom and zoom attack, but an energy trap. I'm turning back to him, making him think he can get a shot on me. But if you look at my speed, I just can go up again, loop over his top, deploy my takeoff flaps so I get this little bit of extra lift, and I'm not so I don't stall out. And yeah, this turn, or this high yo-yo, made me able to get on, not get on a 6, but yeah, get a firing solution, which I miss actually. So again, rinse and repeat, right? He was just flat turning in the deck, so he didn't gain any speed. But by keeping the fight in the vertical, I'm able to sustain my energy and make him bleed even more energy. So again, shallow dive, shallow turn, check back on his energy state. Yes, I'm outrunning him, but he decides to have enough and he's gonna dive away. This is gonna happen in a few seconds. Yeah, there he goes, he's diving away. So now I'm holding all the cards in my hands, because I can dive way much faster than this guy. My plane doesn't compress as much as his plane, except for the rudder maybe, and you're gonna see that. But he gave away all his advantages, and now I can just, yeah, start a boom and zoom attack. So I cut my throttle. Yeah, you see the roll rate, it's quite nice. It's a really good roll rate, even at 700 kph. So there he comes, and yeah, you see the rudder? Like cursor doesn't want to kind of get right on target, so I need to bleed some speed. And as I look down on him, he decides to pull up on me because he thinks he might get me. I mean, he's a BF-109, they have very good energy retention. Yeah, but he was never able to build up enough speed in his dive, so I just go into this tight climbing spiral, high yo-yo above him, and now I'm on a 6. I cut my throttle again, so my rudder doesn't compress too much, and he's giving me his right wing. I shoot it clean off, and that's the first kill of the match. I mean, my first kill, not the first kill of the match. So what you just saw here was a combination of tactics. In the beginning, I used my better performing plane to make the enemy bleed his energy. And in the second part, as he dove away, I was able just to get on his 6, perform a classic boom zoom attack on him, and shoot him out of the sky. So they have managed to capture A. And our second wave, or I think first wave of landing craft is inbound, and those landing craft are being attacked by a low-flying BF-109. So I need to take this guy out as soon as possible. Otherwise we're gonna miss the chance to recap A and yeah, gonna lose the match. So again, this is a classic boom and zoom attack. I cut my throttle again, keep it around 600. I know this guy is slow because he was turning and killing all the landing craft. So after I've kind of rolled away from him, I roll back into him and see as I really roll into this guy to prevent my rudder from kind of making my nose go all around the place, I again get a right wing. I take it. I take it. So what happened now? I'm low on the deck. I've lost a good chunk of my altitude and there's still enemies around. I think 2 or 3 of them. So I use my speed to extend just a bit. I also know this BF-109, he just took off, so he's slow. And again, I just try to make this guy pull up on me, bleed even more speed, which he's doing right now. So I stay above him and use my combats to kind of tighten my turn. And again, I just slot back on his 6. But this time I didn't roll enough, so I just get a hit in and he dives away. I'm actually making a mistake here because I'm a little bit too overconfident on his energy state, because it's an F2 I think, or F1, I didn't see it quite. But he gets his nose up, it's an F1. He gets his nose up, and I think if he was a better shot he could have gotten me here. But as he is bleeding all his speed in this kind of tight climb, I again just can go back on him. Oh, he's pulling into a head-on, and I must judge the situation, aka my lead. So I get nothing. Okay, now you see two things. My speed is high, but I'm still low on the deck. And like I said before, this is not a very good situation to be in, because at any time any high-flying threat could kind of come back down on me and kill me. So my plan is to kind of extend a bit from A and again energy trap this guy. So do not pull into him completely, but again I want to make him fly up to me, which he's doing right now, and he actually clips me while we merge because of my sloppiness. And yeah, you see it again, he's not able to pull up his nose. So again I just try to slot back to on his 6, but this time we are actually too close towards each other. So I missed the opportunity. And as he's split S-ing behind me, he's gonna build up a lot of speed, so I need to just shallow dive also, so he's not able to catch me. Yeah, and I'm still low on altitude. But, spoiler alert, I'm not gonna get this guy, he's gonna crash. So, let's go to the next match, or the next clip I'd like to show you. And guess what? It's Norway again! Yay! Gaijin just loves me. Okay, so I take it. Yeah, like I said before, climb angle 15 degrees, 240 kph IIS, and stay off the web, because otherwise you just overheat the engine and it's gonna overcook like crazy. Okay, so I have some guys with me on altitude, XP38, B409, the captured one, and something else, A36, a Leo and a P39Q. So for Norway I could say, yeah, you can climb kind of left from A, climb up to altitude. And I'm always checking the scoreboard, because the scoreboard can tell you if you kind of got up tiered or down tiered. Okay, so we got someone asking how to fly the F4U 190. And yeah, it's much like a Corsair, it's a boom and zoomer. Okay, so what happens next? Let's see. I'm around 5.5k, which is quite okay. Okay. And the first targets start to appear in the distance. It's a Do-217, a high-flying B409. And yeah, there's gonna be more. So let's just skip a small part and I'll get you closer to the action. Okay, so we are back, and you should always keep one thing in mind, and that's situational awareness. There's a B409 in the distance, and he actually was higher than me. But as I observe his moves, I see him diving down. So he's gonna go for this wonderful furball that has formed kind of 10 clicks in front of me. And he's gonna bleed all his energy advantage. Yet still, he's gonna be my priority target. Yeah, and what you're gonna see right now is also a perfect example of team play. Although nobody's on comms, we're just using the radio messages and the chat to kind of do the stuff right. Yeah, there's the B409 again. And I'm starting my dive. Also check around me again if there is anyone higher than me or attacking me. Something you should always do before you go in. And he's making a turn, which means I can get a firing solution into him. Yeah, but you see the rudder again? And now the lead doesn't suffice to kill him, so again I have to go up, loop over this guy. It's an F2, which is 0.6 points higher than me. And I'm asking my team to cover me to go in for potential threats. So again, F2 just split S's away. My wingman comes in and tries to get in another shot in. But he's already in a tight spiral downwards, and yeah, I don't wanna follow this guy too much. And I'm also trying to tell this to my wingman here, but actually he gets the kill, which is good. Yeah. He's gonna get him soon. So that's one BF-109 taken out. So what you saw was a BF-109 on altitude. And what you saw as a result is a dead BF-109 on the ground. So like I said before, situational awareness is key. And I'm thinking that this BF-109 actually could have seen me as a dot, because I could have seen him as well. And he should go on for me instead of just diving down and, yeah, getting killed on the process. So a new target has appeared, and it's a Spitfire. Ding ding! Who's chasing our XP-38G? And the Spitfire is smart actually, because it doesn't follow him down too much. But I still have the energy and altitude advantage, so I just can remain in a lag pursuit, which means I keep my cursor below him to gain even more speed, close the distance quicker, and maybe assist the BF-109 in killing the Spitfire. Which is actually baiting the Spitfire quite nicely. And the Spitfire is making a mistake. He's doing a full turn. Yeah, I miss all my shots, but what I know now, this guy is slow, okay? So I still have enough energy, 400 kph, just to pull up on him, get a nice pilot snipe in, yeah, and take the bait. So again, the Spitfire was too focused on the F4. Situational awareness. It's very important. It's very important. And I'm gonna show you some clips after this one where you see me failing in keeping my situational awareness high, and that's gonna cost me the plane. Okay. So here we go again. And that's the match I'm talking about. Talking about situational awareness, talking about feeling too overconfident. Yeah, I put up a nice fight and I got some nice responses also from the enemy team, yet still I maybe could have won this. But yeah, I didn't. So well, let's take it. Okay, so we have some multiple high-flying BVs in their natural habitat. And this one is passing quite close to me, but I don't have the energy to pull up on him. I'm doing 250, and the energy retention on this plane is okay, but it's not very good. It's not a BF-109. You cannot zoom up like 1K if you have like 300 kph speed. It's not possible. Not possible in this plane. At least I didn't tested this out, and all I know is I couldn't do it. So the XP-38 takes out the BV, which is good. But my attention is being drawn to this C202 in the distance. It's a C205 actually. Because he's one of the highest flying fighters, and yet again, prioritize your targets, always go for the highest fighter first. Yeah, you see the BV fall out of the sky, you saw it there, just on the bottom of the screen. Okay, so I only have a Spitfire with me in altitude, and we are both below the C205. So again, tactic. Try to climb up. Try to stay away from him. But also always check on his moves and always check on his energy state. So I see him going in for the Spitfire, which gives me the opportunity to go for him. He's diving and he's gaining a lot of speed in this dive. So he out energies, how do you say that? He has more energy than me. But as he keeps turning with the Spitfire, this energy decreases and I can close the gap. So again, just shallow dive. I'm not going for this very tempting C202 below me. I'm staying on the C205. Yeah, and it's absolutely worth it. So always stay on the highest target. Okay. Alright, so the C205 pulls up again. I pull down. And yeah, he never saw me coming actually. He's just pulling right in front of my guns. Yeah, I mean, I take it. And that's a left wing this time. Okay, but there is more threats, and yeah, we need to keep an eye out for those threats. Okay, so the C202 is 2 clicks below me. One thing you need to know about C202s and also C205s, they can prop hang like crazy. And you're gonna see this. This is actually what's gonna cost me my plane. He's rolling too hard. I don't want to commit too much into his maneuver. He's diving down to gain speed. So I'm just watching his move. Alright, don't. And as I look again, the Focke-Wulf on 90 below me is trailing me as well, and the C205 tries to zoom up on me. Yeah, but he's not gonna make it. Okay, so takeoffs, loop over, and now I'm switching targets. Okay. The Focke-Wulf is closer than me. The doe is still out like 2Ks in the distance, and yeah, I mean, this is a perfect shot, right? Look at all those sparks. What is going on, 50 cals? What is going on? I mean, I'm going in for a kill, and all I get is a lousy oil tank. Okay, I take it. It's gonna kill him. I'm gonna get the kill later when he's trying to land. Yeah, and that's the doe shooting at me. So again, I have 3 guys behind me, but they don't have the energy to catch me. So again, I need to bleed. I need to make them bleed their energy. Yeah, and talking about situation awareness, yeah, it's gonna happen soon. Yeah, there's a BV in the distance, but one player was smart and he was extending and he was reclimbing, and he's gonna attack me soon. Okay, but let's go for the doe first. The doe is stalled out completely now. It's gonna be an easy target. You can also see it from the contrails on its wings. So he's pulling some positive Gs to throw off my aim. But yeah, 2 fires, a killed gunner, and yeah, it's not gonna happen. So the Focke-Wulf has decided to fly away. And yeah, this is when it happens. I'm trying to stall out the C202. Yeah, they can prop hang. No, that's the BV again. And I'm thinking, oh shit, this BV is gonna come and try to gunship me. And yeah, you see it? You hear him? Bam, there he goes. He just clips me, but the C202 still is prop hanging, and he's getting my left wing. You see that? He's still prop hanging. Yeah, now he stalls out. Okay? So always keep that in mind when you fight C202s or 205s. They can hang themselves up like crazy. Yeah, this match is over for me. As you can see, I cannot do much. My engine is still running, but I'm leaking oil and my left wing is totally wrecked, and the C202 is catching me, so all I can do is this kind of evasive maneuver. I cut my throttle, try to make them overshoot. Just buy me a little bit of time. I just want to die so quickly. And yeah, he gets my wing. And as he gets my wing, I get the Focke-Wulf, which is the 3rd kill in the match. I mean, I take it. I take it. So, cool thing is, GG, nice play for you. Thanks. You know, people aren't always salty in chat. So kudos, mate. It was really a good fight, and it was a lot of fun fighting you guys. Yeah, let's conclude this first episode. The F4U-1A Corsair is a great boom and zoomer. It has a very good high speed in a dive. It handles very well in a dive, except for the rudder, which compresses very strongly. The climb rate is bad, so you need to side climb, 15 degrees angle, 250, 240 kph IAS. Do not use your web, because you're gonna overheat the engine. And always keep your speed high. Always keep your speed high and your altitude, and you're gonna be untouchable. Do not try to turn fight anyone. Do not do horizontal turns, because the turn rate is bad on this plane and it's not meant for turn fighting. You can use your flaps, your takeoff flaps, for example, to avoid stalling, especially when you're flying a high yo-yo. And the flaps don't rip off so easily, because apparently as a boom and zoomer it has very strong flaps. I think they rip off around 350, 400 kph, which is a rather high speed. For the 50 cals I'm sometimes using stealth ammo, mostly I'm using universal belts, simply because I sometimes cannot aim those 50 cals right, and I need to know where my shots are going. I'm using a 500 meter convergence and vertical targeting is enabled. For manual engine controls, you can take a look at those. But if you're unfamiliar with manual engine controls, you can also leave the plane on auto mode. For that you need to keep in mind that you sometimes cut your throttle a bit and give your engine the chance to cool down. So I'd say this kind of wraps it up. I hope you liked this first episode. If I forgot something to mention, or if you have any questions, just write them down below in the comment section. I'm gonna respond to those questions, whatever, discussions. So yeah, see you next time, and always remember, don't panic.